Welcome everyone to the third night of the ELSA Season 1 Qualifier 2 Cup. I am joined by the Mac Attack. Mac, how you doing?
I'm fantastic. Looking forward to seeing some good games. How are you?
No, well, thank you. A little bit sick, but otherwise, else I'm not sick enough to not be casting tonight, so I'm very stoked.
Yep, so these people are going to have to deal with hearing lots and lots of me.
That's good. That's what we want. But guys, so we have G Squad taking on Basic Gaming in a best of one this evening. So obviously the team that wins will go through, and the team that loses will unfortunately fall out. I think this is Group 4. We've had Groups 1 and 2 on Monday and yesterday night. We had some very, very exciting game of Dota, and I'm obviously very keen to see what these two guys are going to do for us tonight.
Absolutely. I mean, we're looking forward to plenty of kills, spells, and whatever else they decide to throw at us. Maybe some different niche picks for their teams. Something a little bit out of the meta would be nice to watch. I mean, it gets old to watch all of the same meta picks.
I mean, well, there's a first band Drow. You know, when you talk about the meta, you've obviously seen the pros now. MDL Paris, Epicenter, lots and lots of Drow coming out now. She's OP, like, I don't know, worse than before. Like, she's always been an OP hero, so is the PA, but Drow's been disgusting of late.
Absolutely. If you look at things like the Divine and Immortal bracket, and those are the highest skill for Dota, she's picked in over 40% of games, and she has a 56% win rate. So it's understandable why you instantly want to ban her. Because whoever gets it almost guarantees a win at this stage. That's how broken she has been.
Yeah, her and the Doom also was really highly contested at the major. I think they had about a 96 and a 98% contest rate. So either you banned her or you first picked her, but teams always went for her. It was crazy. Shadow Shaman, that's a support I love. He is such a boss. Great push and potential, nice disables on him, a shackle and a hex. Decent lane push and harass with that Ether Shock as well.
Absolutely. When you look at it from our perspective, he's a perfect POS 5. His abilities don't rely on him having items. So he pretty much, as soon as he gets level 6, he just drops snakes on a tower and he's happy. I mean, he's going to want some brown boots and arcanes if he's lucky in ether lens, but that's pretty much all that he ever needs to be effective.
Yeah, brown boots, ether lens, exactly. Extend that range a bit. You can harass from the jungle, which is great. Plus they can take their range talent tree, which Lion also has the cast range talent, plus you build the ether lens on him. And so actually both his opening support picks are really great.
10 seconds remaining.
And Lion has been absolutely meta of late because of the change to his ultimate and the super long suck range on his mana drain with the slow that it gives. I mean, he's fantastic. He's probably going to be hit with the nerf hammer a little bit towards the next patch that they release. But I mean, he's fantastic and he works well with so many teams.
What do you make of Ice Frog let in support scale? Like now the fact that Lion can scale because every time he gets his ulti off it's plus 50 damage. Supports, I don't know, they shouldn't really scale, should they? They're supposed to be like the little bitch, he's gonna die. You know, make sure you can pump up your cores to win the game. And now, of late, you know, in the last couple months, we've had scaling supports, which has made them quite hectic though, hey?
Absolutely, it gave them more viability to be in team fights and survive and sort of, to a certain degree, carry games, but it also, brackets, it will have a negative influence, because now instead of thinking, oh well, I'm just playing a weak hero, you now think, oh well, I've actually got a slightly stronger hero, so maybe I don't have to support as much, so you end up in the lower brackets where now nobody wants to support really, even though you pick one. Certainly in the higher brackets people are happy about it. You can not be that poor guy who just ends up dying instantly anymore.
No, I mean you see kind of when you look at kind of what are we looking at? Ancient and Divine Immortal upwards, you know, you get your mid supports. And Dendi and Matumbaman have been cheeky playing like AA mid or a Dazzle mid. And they're getting away with it, you know, it's interesting to see.
Absolutely, and there's plenty that you can actually get away with if you have the right lane, and that's one of the biggest things. You can play a Rubik mid if you even wanted to.
Yeah.
Rubik has become quite popular in the mid lane. And, I mean, you can do a vast number of things, but most of the picks, certainly through the last couple of patches, have been directed at early push. You don't want to play a 40-minute game. You want to play 25 minutes and already be taking 2 racks.
No, and at one stage the game was super quick. You know, you'd be calling GG in about 20 minutes, and it almost felt like normal pub games with turbos, which was hectic because now turbos actually take half an hour to finish. And then it's like, doesn't make sense. Like, what's the point of a turbo that takes half an hour to complete? Which is ridiculous. But the side of basic gaming here got a lot of single target right now. So someone like Venge especially, you know, you look to build a Lincoln sphere on the opposing side just because she is so single targeted.
Absolutely. And she also works great for her own team, because if you get a core that's really caught out, you swap them out, they're fine. And you have 2 swap charges on her at the moment. So technically, if you work it really well, you might even be able to use the second swap and escape by yourself. Then you've almost lost the chance for G-Squad.
So that's actually kind of what I wanted to build upon with the scaling supports as well, that they gave Venge a second swap as well. Like, is it necessary? Was it necessary? Does she need this double swap maybe to escape, maybe to double initiate with? You know, we're never going to know like the thought processes behind what IceFrog wants to do, but they're making supports damn hard these days, which is maybe great for us support players, but yeah, at the end of the day, this is not a League of Legends game, so...
Absolutely. I think that they've almost taken it a little bit too far. They're almost treating everyone as this individual little snowflake. They're not allowed to make people suffer or work a little bit harder than their own team. Everyone is important. And that's just not how the game has been played. You're a core, you have to carry the game. If you're a support, you know that you do your job and trust your carrier.
Yeah, you know, it's 2019. We're just trying to make sure everyone's included and feeling, you know, important.
Absolutely. Next thing we're going to see is that we're going to have no genders. Everyone is just going to be a hero. We can't call them male or female. And
how dare us. But yeah, G-Squad pulling out the Juggernaut, which is great for pushing alongside with someone like the Shadow Shaman, because Juggy, of course, can split push you quite well and does it quite quickly.
Absolutely, he offers so much. The spin, he can run into a lane, spin and TP out if he really needs to. He's got the healing ward, which works fantastically. Sustains pushes even more. So he's great. And he doesn't need all that many items, and nobody really has been looking towards Battle Fury on him anymore. You sort of look Maelstrom into Yasha or Diffusal, and you look for that early push with your team.
Or like your Manta style as well. So if you have that early Yasha, you can build it straight into your Manta and then go for the Milner and Maelstrom as well.
Absolutely. I mean, and then on basic gaming, deciding to take the Bristleback. We were actually discussing this earlier, Mars versus Bristleback debate in your off lane. Is the back damage that a Bristleback offers at max level is only 40% reduction. But if you look at the frontal damage reduction on a Mars, it's actually 70%. So,
well, I mean,
it's like a cheaper version of a Mars, if I'm perfectly honest.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, you've stood in a fountain with a Mars, and he literally takes all that damage from the front, where the rest of your team can pile in, and everyone gets out alive, because that, you know, Mars just mitigates so much of that damage from the front. It's ridiculous. You're right. I guess it is a cheaper man's version of Mars Bristleback. That's probably a mean thing to say, but it's actually quite true.
Radiant team pick.
I mean, he doesn't offer as much to his team. The Core Spray does damage. If you want to damage, you use the Shield Bash on Mars, which is also a small AoE. It has knockback, and it has a crit, which is more than worth. And he has a stun on his Spear Throw. And he has an ultimate that holds you all in place, where you can't run in or out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's a much better version of Bristle, in my opinion.
Yeah. So now, who's going to be the Silver Edge carry here on the side of G Squad? I think Juggy can build into a Shadow Blade, but I think it's a bit more uncommon. So I think hopefully there's a mid player about to come out that's going to be the Silver Edge carrier just to break the passive of Bristleback. That's quite important.
Absolutely. At this stage, it would have been perfect for G Squad to have picked the Viper, but Basic were really smart. They banned it in the second phase. because they knew that certainly G Squad would need someone who can be aggressive in the mid lane, and someone who can sort of tank on the front lines if they really wanted to.
Yeah, and that Viper's a perfect ban when you have someone like Bristle on your team. So Lifestealer coming out, so that's interesting. So now maybe the Juggernaut ends up being our Silver Edge carrier here, because I don't think Lifestealer is going to go for it at all.
I agree with you there. I think Lifestealer is generally your Radiance carrier.
Yeah.
What has got me more concerned is how are you trying to lane this? Is this an off-lane Lifestealer? Is this a carry Lifestealer with a mid-jug? How are you going to split these lanes up that you're not going to starve your cores? Because both of these guys really want to sit in a jungle as soon as the lane has been pushed and just go and farm the jungle.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a little greedy on the side of G Squad right now.
Absolutely. I mean, you could have gone a little bit more team fight in that position and considered that you either give full farm to the jug or full farm to the Lifestealer rather than trying to split it 50-50 between the two, because then you're pretty much doing it halfway.
That Warlock ban for me is interesting and strange, because we know CM and Shadow Shaman are the two supports. Is there kind of a need to ban and to last ban a Warlock like that? I mean, I don't see it. It's almost, for me, I'm going to use the word wasteful. They could have got rid of a core, a mid, and they choose a Warlock for me, which is strange.
I think Warlock didn't particularly fit into their team, because then you would have had to have either the CM or the Shaman as a core, and you would have had to have a mid Warlock, which doesn't really do anything. Sensible pick from G Squad using the fact that they didn't lose out on a mid, so they got a Zeus, but in return they gave basic a Silencer.
Yeah, I was going to say, what an immediate counter to that Zeus pick. Silencer comes up. And you know what, so I was going to say something stupid now and say, like, yeah, instead of that Warlock a ban, they could have gone for him, but of course they want the Silencer. So how does this work? The G Squad doesn't have kind of a natural carrier for the Lifestealer. Who is he going to jump in when it comes to kind of his ultimate? No one really.
The best of stages, you might be able to jump into a Juggernaut whilst he's used his phase boots and is spinning, because then he can't be slowed down. But it feels a little bit strange at this stage. But of course it all comes down to how they lane this and how the first 5 minutes are going to go.
Yeah, I think, and the Silence is a perfect pick, obviously, because of all the magical damage that's going to come down on the side of G Squad. And then this Bristleback is going to have to build up a pipe. Definitely. And the Lifestealer, so where do you see the Lifestealer going in this lane? He's going to have to be safe lane carry. Sorry, not the Legion Commander. Sorry, Legion Commander, I think, is going to end up being safe lane carry then.
I was fairly certain that she was. It felt clunky to pick also the Bristleback and Legion.
Yeah.
So, can be quite good, but she's also dependent on getting off a lot of early jewels, especially once she hits level 2. Level 1, it's not that big of a deal. It's plus 10. Level 2, it's plus 18 damage. And she has fantastic scaling as long as it goes and for them, but it has to be where they're at an advantage if they try to go late.
And she doesn't
play well from behind.
Yeah, and she might have to get off some decent pickoffs. So Julian the CM works in your favor. Julian, Zeus and a Shaman works in your favor. But someone like Lifestealer's got his own natural BKB. You can't gonna get through. Plus, Blade Fury coming out from the Juggernauts as well. So maybe I think, the side of G Squad here, we're looking at probably a lot of smokes, maybe, or at least one support with our Legion to get smokes and pickoffs. When you're talking about amassing that dual damage, we're going to have to see.
Absolutely, and generally, if you look at a Lifestealer, he's perfectly happy to bowl Radiance if he has a really good lane. Radiance also offers Mischance, which ruins a Legion and stops blinks in and blinks out of fights.
Yeah, that's it. So that Radiance actually takes off a blink, does it?
So, depending on how close you are, obviously, it's not the most gigantic range of Radiance. Though I also have to consider that Radiance would be a little bit greedy for an offlaner. He's going to consider going more of an aura build to try and pick up an early drums for his team, because he doesn't have a natural drums carrier in the Zeus. So that's a possibility for him.
Is this a type of game where you also go for a Vlad's as a lifestealer, or is that more kind of a Sven build?
I think at this stage they don't have anyone who carries the Vlads, but then you do have the healing ward from Jug, which is also a heal for your whole team, so it might not be entirely needed. Someone on their team will have to build into either a pipe or a crimson card for them if they want to certainly push with the aura based builds that have been quite prevalent.
Now what I love about the top lane here is the Shadow Shaman versus Lion. Both don't have kind of the best range when it comes to a right click. Shaman hits a lot harder, but hell, you have to be so close to get that right click in, and it kind of makes harassing from the jungle quite difficult unless you have your Ether Shock. And then also kind of Lion, you can see in lane, he's not always the best support. It's not kind of like having a Jakira or a Warlock, for example.
And both of the supports are actually holding on to their wards. They've probably both looked at each other's inventories and seen that neither one really wants to drop it and give away the free T ward.
Yeah. Right, in the bottom lane, quite a lot of harass coming out here onto Superior Rat. Jacked and Wolf doing quite a lot of work. She doesn't have a Q first, so she's not dropping the Nova down on them. I like a Nova first. That harassment early game on a CM is fantastic for me.
Absolutely. I think she's probably going to end up maxing out her aura first, just to help out the Zeus mid, because obviously he's going to be super mana dependent. Zeus always is. So that's a possibility that she's considering, going maybe one into a Nova and one into a Frostbite, and then trying to max out her aura.
Yeah, so he does have his bottle already, and he is able to pick up the Illusion Ruin in the river. And like you said, you're very mana dependent. He's only got 399 stock mana as well, which is actually quite a little for an Intel hero. I mean, how much does the CM have? Okay, 300. It's not much. What does Shaman have? 351. Ugh, very average. Oh, bottom lane, Superior Rat. Oh, Jug's falling first though, so they do catch the Jug in the bottom lane, and Superior Rat able just to get away with the skin of his teeth. 14% health as well.
I think that probably was a little bit of a step too far forward, not really realizing how many stacks he had of the Quill Spray, and then as soon as it started to get to probably 4 or 5 stacks, then he starts to panic and it's like, actually I shouldn't really be here.
Do you kind of feel that if a Bristleback doesn't have a good game, they kind of just become a big creep?
I think to a certain degree Bristleback will always be okay to farm. I mean, he can still go into certainly the smaller camps and stand there, turn his back, and then just Quill Spray it, and he'll be perfectly happy with himself. Bristleback is one of those heroes that absolutely loves to be an advantage. He doesn't like playing from behind, no matter what.
Oh, a lot of harassment on the top lane. Shackle's already coming out onto the Lion, plus the Earth Spikes as well. So these supports in the top lane really getting harassment out. And as you can see, Legion is not really doing that well on the CS front compared to this Lifesteal, who's got 16 for 7, so double the Legion right now. So I mean, I guess the Shaman's winning on that front.
Absolutely. But to be fair, on the Lion, he's got still plenty of regen. If he really wants, he can start stepping more forward in the lane, tanking a couple of the creeps, and just being irritating like he is now.
Yeah, and there we go.
Draining off as much mana as he wants. It's such a low cooldown.
Yeah, Hex coming out as well.
Yeah.
So what someone had said to me once whilst casting is that Lion in lane is actually more like of a pacifier than someone who's, say, a good laning partner, if that makes sense. So he's there, he can drop Earth Sparks, he can drop a Hex, you know, he maybe performs a different role as a support in lane, if that makes sense.
He's not a super aggressive type of lane partner. He's more of there to stop an initiation and sort of set up a counter initiation. He'll play passive, he'll scare them out and sort of mana drain them out every once in a while, but he's not going to be like diving onto them every single time.
No. Oh, and there's the Nova coming out bottom from Wolf. So Superior Rat doesn't have a wand or stick, but yeah, it's taking quite a bit of magical damage.
Money changes.
And we're talking about the greediness of this team. You know, Wolf also has herself a natural Midas in the form of Frostbite. So, you know, there's going to be, like, I think a lot of farming coming up from the side of basic gaming. Not that CM's going to do a lot of farming, but she has the potential, at least with that Frostbite, to do it if she needs to.
An interesting little piece that I noticed was actually when you look at the jug, he didn't walk into the side shop to buy his magic stick or his boots. So he's got them sitting at base, which I particularly disagree with as a mid lane player myself, because I don't ever really want the courier to be going down my side lanes. You want to dedicate it to your Zeus or put the dire to your silencer.
And yeah,
so
especially
it's interesting that he didn't step in.
And especially since that stick can be bought at the side shop, now he's not even calling the courier as well, so he's literally spending seconds waiting for these 2 items to come, and those boots, are going to be instrumental in him at least say escaping this lane if he needs to. Look at that. Let's see how long they've stayed in the stash for.
Absolutely, and you think how often a bristleback is going to be using Cool Spray. You could have had 10 stacks by now if you had really wanted to.
No, yeah, he could have. Oh, there we go. So Courier finally going his way. Ethershock coming out top onto a Zaki with a magic missile from Pizza Guy, but it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, slight misplays going on here, there, and everywhere. I was also interested to watch the Radiant Courier, is that he decided to pick up a chainmail for himself, which is also purchasable from the side shop. So he really didn't have to purchase it there. If he wanted to go for his phase boots, he could have gone for the Blades of Attack.
Double kill in the bottom lane. So Blade Fury taking down the Bristleback with the Frost Nova coming out as well, but the Quill Spray just finishing off the CM at the same time. Nice trade in the bottom. I think obviously taking a Bristleback down for a support is way better. So good for basic game in there.
Absolutely, you're always going to be happy with that. You trade a support for a core, particularly angry unless you are far ahead and for some reason that support ever ends up getting more expensive.
Oh, there we go, catch him with the Frostbite into Blade Fury, should finish him off, and Jack taking the kill there. Oh, quite easily. So she's got 1 in Frostbite, which is great because the duration doesn't scale an awful lot. Actually only about 0.5 every time, which is quite a little. Oh, top lane Shaka's coming out as well, catching Pizza Guy, she's gonna go down. Looking to take a Zaki as well, doesn't have open wounds. Actually no mana at all. Hex coming out here from the Lion. Not much mana or HP here on this Legion. I don't think they can really comfortably fight.
Lifestealer was really happy there because he was actually able to cancel out the salve that the Legion was using. She couldn't run away fast enough from him. So that's like small little things that go in your favor in the laning phase that ultimately end up a much further lead.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. That you kind of, when you get like past that divine rank and level, the tiniest little things just literally make or break a game.
Absolutely, it's a single creep here, a deny there. You got to stack a camp and then farm it for yourself instead of stacking a single stack. It's those small things that end up over a 20 or a 30-minute period, leading to 2, 3, maybe even 4k gold difference.
I mean, even the pro guys would say that, Juggernaut not buying that stick straight from the secret shop could, make a big influence later.
And as I had been saying early, he bought the chainmail at his own shop instead of walking into the secret shop to buy it as well. He could have done that. Or if he had wanted to, instead of buying the chainmail at his base, he could have bought the Blades of Attack and then bought the chainmail at the secret shop, which would have completed his phase boots.
Alright, how's our Zeus going in the mid lane? Because we actually have not gone in their direction once at all. They're both kind of trading evenly, 31 and 30 on the CS. Front plus 7 for 7 as well. So it seems like they're doing okay. Zeus going straight for the mana boots, even though he has a CM on his team. And OG Kush already with a double null talisman, which is really going to make him quite strong being a silencer.
Absolutely. I mean, this is going to be a very passive lane. Unless they completely misplay it, both of these heroes, Silencer can't kill Zeus and Zeus can't kill Silencer. Unless there's a rotation from one of the players on either side, generally being your supports.
There's not really, they don't have like a Earth Spirit, Earthshaker, Tuskar supports. So I mean, who would essentially do the roaming here, if at all? Maybe the Shaman, he can get a good shackle off, same on the other side. Venge with 1 magic missile, maybe a Hex coming out from the line, but these aren't generally supports that roam too much.
Absolutely. I think out of all of the potential roamers that you could have, Bench works out pretty well, especially when she has level 6. She buys herself a smoke and would come and stand in the mid lane and ask the swap and have the silencer standing close by to that location. That would be one way to get the kill. I think other than that, it's going to be pretty passive. Both of them, we didn't discuss, have global ults, so they don't even really need to leave their lane to be useful to the sidelines.
No, that's actually very true. They both do global silence and, of course, Zeus and his ultimate. This magic missile of the Venge I'm looking at now, the stun duration, it scales terribly. 1.5, 1.6, 1.7. It doesn't grow at all. Like, I don't know. Hey, I've never looked that closely into magic missile before, but hell, it doesn't. Yes, it does nothing.
Absolutely. And the only real talent that ends up buffing up the magic missile for her is level 25, and as a support you're generally never going to get there. So it might be a great level 25 talent, whichever you decide to pick. It's pierces spell immunity, or it's plus 400 damage, but generally speaking, in this fast-paced game, you're never going to get there, so you're never going to really be using that. At best, your Wave of Terror becomes more useful to your team for the minus armor.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so in this game, they got a Zeus against them with a CM, so I would hope she's going to go for the plus 15 magic resistance, just because it's going to make her a little tankier. But then by 15, I think that minus 6-second wave is going to be better, just because she's the support and doesn't need plus 15 agility as well.
Absolutely. And then level 20, if we get to that stage, it's much of a muchness as to what you want. The aura damage is going to help, but it will only really help your Lion, if I'm not mistaken, because it only helps ranged, so that's not a big thing. And then minus 6 seconds on your magic missile. But then if you have a small mana pool, you don't really want to be spamming out those kind of spells.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. So it's got a 10-second cooldown. Minus 6 makes it a 4-second cooldown, which is pretty decent if you can stun constantly. But like you're saying, with the mana pool, you can't do it all too often. Like, I suppose three decent magic missiles helps you, but then you're also out of mana.
Absolutely, and you want to devote more mana into your nether swap and into your use of Wave of Terror. It still counts, because Wave of Terror max level is 40 mana, so you've got to consider that. Level 2 swap is 150 mana on top of that, so it's almost like you're doing budgeting of your mana.
Yeah, you have to be, you do have to manage those types of things. How's your HP regen doing? How's your mana regen doing? Can I afford to make this play? Can I use an item and a spell? Because it's awkward, you know, you use your Force Staff or your Shiva's Guard or whatever, now you're out of mana. Oh, I can't even use an ability afterwards.
Absolutely, and that can make or break a fight, absolutely.
Yeah, it gets a bit awkward. So Magic Missile bottom does land into Jack, straight into the Blade Fury, almost getting one more hit on Superior. Bristleback getting away by the skin of his teeth. Bad Zeus coming down to gank, does have haste, is he going to finish him off? No! Everyone misses him. Oh no, he's a very lucky boy. Attention turned here onto Pizzigat. They've got Frostbite, they're going to take him down here. Here's one more hit, gets a Magic Missile onto Wolf though. Blade Fury coming out, isn't going to hit him just yet. There we go. Oh, and there we go. So Nova coming out from Wolf finishing off, and they're able to get the ward as well. Nope, sorry, the illusions. Right, Lion falling down in the top lane as well to the lifestealer.
Absolutely. This is going to become an increasingly difficult lane for Lion to stand in, because as soon as he gets shackled, he has to instantly call for the heal to come out from his Legion, which will then cancel out the shackle. But if Legion carelessly uses the let's press the attack. Yes. Then it becomes difficult, because then he's just shackled, and that becomes an extremely long shackle.
Does tell me, does this jewel go through the lifestealer's BKB at all?
It does. I believe it does pierce his spell immunity, but I mean, it's not that much of a deal, because Natural Rage, he's got bonus attack speed, so he's going to be healing himself more. So even if it does pierce, it's not great to jewel onto a Rage.
No, I mean, he's got plus 40 attack speed bonus just on level 1. He's going straight for a Midas, so he's opting to get a bit more greedier in the off lane. Right,
I think he's realized how far across he is and how ahead he is. So he's like, well, we're this far ahead and it's not going to do too much damage. It still gives him attack speed.
Yeah, so the lifestealer, yeah, he's currently got 4,000 net worth right now, which is the highest in the whole game. Ultimate from the bottom. See him here getting off the freezing field. Oh, Omnislash falling onto Pizzica. Isn't going to jump to the creeps. No, it doesn't. And Pizzica's going to fall to the Omnislash. Those creeps were so close. I thought he was going to make a jump across, but I think he's quite happy that it didn't. Oh. Yeah, superior rat getting away with the skin of his teeth. I think this cloak is just helping him out quite a bit in the bottom lane. Plus this ring of protection adding the extra armor as well.
It's interesting to also be looking at the Joke's items. We can follow his items quite closely. That he's gone for Ring of Health, and then he's got a Void Stone queued up. So that pretty much guarantees that he's considering going Battle Fury build, which I'm not entirely in favor of. I think Maelstrom is of better value at this stage. Helps you push faster, and it still offers you farm.
Yeah, it's going straight for that Perseverance. And in the mid lane, we've got the wards being dropped just to take that tier 1 tower quite comfortably. They had the siege creep as well, and Lord G taking the first tower of the game and pushing OG Kush back quite a bit. It's actually looking, I think OG Kush is going for the Rod of Atos here, if I'm not mistaken. That looks like a rod.
I think that's the smart item. I believe that is a rod.
Yeah.
So, yes, I agree with that rod, but it can be countered quite easily.
Oh, Superior Rat just diving the bottom tower, taking down the CM. He's going to get tanked now, so he does have Warpath, and he's able to get the stacks up. And of course, level 6 Bristleback is where all the fun starts. He's able to finish up his Hood of Defiance as well, which is going to make him really tanky.
Entire team for the magic resistance, they've realized that there's a CM Shaman and Zeus, so any magic resistance that they can get is fantastic.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Bristleback doesn't build straight for a pipe. It might be kind of like his first early item, I think. Shackle's top does land onto Ozaki and they catch him. Yaklam in yesterday. Oh, massive finger coming out, blast down Captain. And Legion Commander does fall there as well.
Absolutely. And in return up comes the CM. So they're just bringing their supports up here and leaving it to the Jug and the Bristleback to have their own fun time.
I mean, so like the targets for Finger on the side of basic are also like, you can blow up 3 of those heroes very easily. Zeus will melt, CM melts, and Shaman melts. And the more stacks he gets, the stronger it's going to get. Rage getting committed here in the top lane, goes straight into the line. Frostbite coming out as well, into the freezing field. Are they going to catch Ozaki? They're going onto, and they are going to dive the tower. Doesn't have open wounds though. Looking it back, does have the tower's aggro though. No TP here on the Legion, they're going to have to fight for it. Does have the jewel, in comes Pizzica. I think he's able to help him out. Oh, right click him, is he going to block the Superior Rat as well? Swap!
Swap the wrong person.
Oh no, and Magic Missile as well, he did not just stun him instead. Oh, that was an easy kill. Lifesteal is very, very happy to get out of that, I think.
They both made an equally bad goof. Lifestealer should not really be diving into those trees. He knows that anyone can TP you to that T1 and he'd be in a bit of a trouble. And then the goof in return from Van saying, you know what, we'll just let you escape, just so long as you don't say that you saw that.
Alright, yeah, if reinforcements coming back into the mid, and Wolf looking to get a Frostbite isn't going to land on Superior Rat. Oh, that lifesteal is very, very happy there, I think. And what did you call a nice little goof? An oof?
An oof. It's the oof of life.
Well, yes, no, Venge made a nice little oof there. Oh, stealing the bounties. Captain putting in the work here, managing to steal that dire bounty. Oh, here we go, open wounds coming out onto the line. He's going straight from swap as well. Does save him into a stun. Oh, Pizzica not making that mistake again. There is an Omnislash on Jacked. He isn't going to have time to use it. Legion there with the press the attack.
Absolutely. As you saw there, the Jug was actually in the animation and it just went out of his range into the fog of war. So he decides, you know what, I'm not going to chase that any further, it's not really worth my time.
Right, it's a lot of action here in the top lane. Even Lord G committing to come to push this tower. It is a 4 versus 3. There is still swap and a duel. They are diving with rage, but here comes Superior Rat. It's going to be 4 versus 4. Does use the open woods onto Ainsley. They use the Earth Spike. Does catch him. Is he going to commit the duel? Yeah, they're looking to weaken him down. Omnislash going to commit his jump around. Does land. Hits the guy as well with the ultimate coming up from Zeus and the duel landing on Lifesteal. Should they kill him? It doesn't. He wins and gets away with the life. It's fine. He won the duel and double kill here for Jack with the Blade Fury. They're looking to take down Captain. No Superior Rat. They're changing. Okay, so Lifestealer falls, but he does win the duel. Gets himself 10 extra damage.
Absolutely, and that just makes him happier, helps him farm a little bit more. And as we said earlier, it's extremely difficult to duel a Lifestealer, rage or not.
Well, hell, I think it was very difficult there to duel that Lifestealer because I thought he was going to win. He lost. There was even a Hex on the Lifestealer, and then, of course, Zeus just came out with a big Lightning Bolt and finished it off, securing that win.
Absolutely, and the vital part of that fight was that little bit of heal that he was getting off of his feast whilst he was in that duel. The couple of hits that he got off were just enough to survive until that Zeus used his abilities.
Oh, I think Legion's not going to be happy with that one. So he's currently sitting on no extra duel damage. We've got Lifestealer sitting on plus 10, and he's hoping to gain some more, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Your ultimate goal is either to make sure that the Legion gets no duel damage, or in your best case scenario that you somehow get her to always duel you and to always lose. But that's generally very rare. Legion players play that duel quite close to the heart because you really don't want to duel and miss everything.
And I think, yeah, when you give away damage as a Legion, you're not happy about it. So like you're saying, yeah, I think you play more conservatively or you use it wisely. You make sure someone is very low, kind of below 50% health. So the Atos is completed here on Silencer. He's looking to get some more lockdown for his team.
Yes.
Does Lincoln's block an item, by the way? So like, would Rod of Atos get blocked by Lincoln's?
Yes, it would.
Okay.
It is one of those abilities that would get blocked. I mean, they don't have very many carriers of Lincolns on the side of Radiant. I mean, Jug doesn't really want to build himself a Radiance. He wants to devote that slot to something else.
Invisibility.
Shaman and the Crystal Maiden are generally going to be too poor. Maybe you want to pick one up on your Zeus, but even Lifesteal is not considering that. He's queued himself up as his first major item, Skull Basher.
How does something like a Lotus Orb fare in this game, where you can repel an Earth Spike, a Magic Missile, you can repel the Hex?
Absolutely, I think that's an underrated item, especially within the SA Dota scene. They don't realize how much value you can actually get, because it does last for a while, and it can actually theoretically block a lot of items.
So they're massive silence coming out with the Atos going on to Captain's going to fall. Zeus ult to get in now. Omnislash going to commit it. There are creeps in the lane though. He's going to get a Zucky down with the Blade Fury, so he does get the mega kill, gets a double kill as well, with Captain just helping him out there. Right, and so that's a 3-for-1 trade where they only lose a Shadow Shaman. That's very good trade on the side of basic gaming.
And here's where I said that wards out from Juggernaut helps sustain the push. It saves your creeps, it saves you. And you pretty much can go and get a free T2 now, or certainly work it down to at least halfway.
Yeah, so Glyph getting used then. They don't have the creep wave just yet. It is coming up and there is still 2 down. Legion is back. I think they're not going to press their advantage anymore there. So
they've started to realize how far they are ahead. They're getting more kills, 14-6. So they must realize that they have some level of network lead. So why ever bother to throw that away?
yeah, well, 8k network lead right now, 19 minutes, looking pretty solid for the side of basic gaming. Only 6 kills here on the side of G Squad. No, actually I'm lying. Basic gaming was 6 kills and G Squad the one in the upper seed. My apologies. Okay, so G Squad, they have in themselves quite a decent game so far. If we do check the stats, we've got 4-for-1 on the Lifestealer, 2, 2, and 5. So actually Jacked having himself quite a good game. 5-1-3. And this poor Lion is being the victim every time. 3 for 5.
And the Vengeful Spirit is just lagging slightly behind at 0 and 4.
Yeah, really just, yeah, being, you know, the supports we want and need. Throwing bodies.
Absolutely. You'd rather much lose yourself than ever lose your cause.
Ah, 100%, that's it. Right, so and Rage getting committed here from Electo. It does use open wisdom to Pizzica with the lightning bolt as well. They're looking to take him down. But we might have a potential duel coming out as well. Hex there from Ainsley with the Earth Spike. Pizzica, he does get out as well. Right, so no one actually looking to take this lifestealer head on. This Rage just been too strong. 6 seconds as well, not too bad in a game of Dota. That's pretty long. He does have a Skull Basher which is coming. It's actually on the courier right now. And actually, oh, Atos. Oh, huge finger and onto Shaman. Easy target as well. That's 2 fingers, so plus 100 damage going to line so far. It's only going to get worse from there.
As I was about to say before, that poor little Shadow Shaman ended up killing himself. Or dying, whichever you prefer to call it. I'm sure you'll say, no, it was a mistake, I just misplayed and ended up there. You never want to admit to any mistakes. More diving going on here.
Oh, Shrine getting used up by G Squad, and now they don't have it. Wolf committing the freezing fielder. G Squad taken down 2. He gets a double kill. His burst to support quite easily. They're looking to take on Superior Red. Is there Frostbite? They do have it. Does get used though. This should be quite easy as well. As uses open woods on cooldown. A triple kill. They're going for Lord G. And I thought kind of using that shrine was going to be to their detriment, but it seems they could take the fight there no problem. And 3 falling on the side of basic gaming, and 11k net worth lead now to G Squad.
Dire's top tower is
Absolutely.
under attack.
The one thing that Dire didn't consider there was a shrine is also a place that you can TP into. So if you go on them and you're not 5, any person can TP in from Radiant. So you end up with instant TPs coming out, and then it becomes a 5 versus 3. Then you're automatically at a disadvantage, even if the shrine had already been used.
And now a Dragon Lance for OG Kusha. He's looking to extend his attack range by quite a bit. I think he wants to stand in the back of the fights just a bit more, so he doesn't get killed so quickly. So he's just finished the Dragon Lance, does have it to him. Does he build a Hurricane Pike? Is that something he would want here? Extra intel as well?
It's absolutely something that he's going to be looking towards, because it extends his range for 1, and it's also a natural for staff, because we know the 2 items that go into it.
I think, yeah.
In and out of fights, or it could decide to use it on a teammate to save them. So it has a lot of use for them.
Yeah, I think an escape item for him is going to be important. He doesn't have a Glimmer Cape. He's not going for the Shadow Blade. I think that 4 stuff is the next logical option for him. Right.
Absolutely. Especially against a Zeus. If he had decided to go to Shadow Blade, it would have been a very, very poor decision, because the exposure coming out from Zeus is 4.5 seconds long.
Right, so Ethelens here almost finished on Captain as well. He's got the recipe plus the Voidstone, just waiting for that energy booster. And then he's going to get that Ethelens we're talking about for that extra cast range. G Squad looking to take down this tier 2 tower. The whole of basic gaming is up, and they are very ready to defend. Blade Mail up on Ozaki as well. He's not going for the blink, he's actually opting for the Shadow Blade. Right, open wounds coming out here. Onto Zaki does pop the Blade Mail just to defend him as well. Isn't going to get a swap out. Swap it, he runs back into the fight. They get silenced. Huge ulti coming out there. Only takes down the Legion. They're looking onto Superior Red as well. Another swap they're coming out there. He's going to run away. The Magic Missile coming out to Captain. He's going to fall. And it's a 2-for-1 right now. They're looking to take down Omnislash, getting committed. Double kill here for OG. With a double going to Electo as well. Oh my word, he's going to have to back if he wants to survive.
Absolutely. I think Zeus didn't realize how he was affected there by the Arcane Curse, and he was still trying to spam out abilities, and he was just prolonging it and making it worse for himself. The fight then decided to move directly behind the T2, and I think they overestimated themselves trying to fight into that global silence, because it was perfectly timed.
Yeah, and just kind of pushing or diving under the tier 2 tower as well, taking the aggro. And that was it, man. 2-for-4 trade. It's a big. Gives basic gaming a little bit of a swing on the charts. Net worth charts slowly going down in their favor, but a nice big XP swing as they take 4 kills.
Absolutely. I mean, you're going to be happy with that no matter what, especially your supports, because they were involved in that, they hung around, and that gives them much needed levels. Generally, your supports are going to struggle, they're going to linger around.
Oh, here we go. Is there a duel coming out on Blade Fury? They've got you at 3 versus 1. Though Jack might be in a bit of trouble. He does Blade Fury away. Is there going to be a swap? There is no swap. Well, there is a swap, but it doesn't have the range. Incoming Lord G just to back him up. Does drop the lightning. Oh, now they turn in. Now I've got a 4-man here from G Squad looking to take them down in Superior. Rat just defending the stairs. There's the rest of his team back. Oh, there is no shrine up. Oh, that was a close one here for basic gaming. Almost turned very quickly on its head.
Absolutely, the Jug made a very good decision. He ran straight towards his team. He wasn't going to hang around.
Oh, Frostbite straight into Spirit, into the Blade Fury. They've got him down into the Shackles as well. Should be able to kill him here. One more lightning should come out there. Ultimate getting used with the Hex and the Earthstruck finish him off, but Juggy falling as well. There's the Jewel coming out onto a Shaman. He is going to lose. Oh my goodness, almost gave the damage to the Shadow Shaman. He does survive the 3-4, 4-4 down the side. You have basic triple kill going to Lord G. He's very big now. It does have a Veil of Discord. This is where the magical damage is coming from. Ultra kill as Aisley goes down. Oh man. Yes, this Veil of Discord is putting in work.
The Ags, which we did not quite discuss yet with the Zeus.
Yeah.
Ags is so fantastic for him. That Nimbus Cloud does so much. It's area of effect. You just drop it and they have to back off or kill it.
Dire's middle tower is under
Really smart
attack.
plays coming out.
Dire's middle tower.
Oh, there we go. So Dire middle tower just fall into the creeps. And the Lecto's got the top lane pushing in as well. So there's 2 waves coming in with a siege creep. And they're going to have to defend it. Bottom lane as well getting pushed a bit. And actually not a single tower is falling on the side of G Squad. So they are actually very comfortable when it comes to objectives.
The towers haven't taken any real damage whatsoever. And what they should be more happy about is it's got to the 28-minute mark nearly. And still to this stage, there is no dual damage on this Legion. She's having a really tough game.
She almost lost that duel to a Shadow Shaman just now. I was going to lose my mind.
I mean, it was very close. The Blade Mail does make sense that she's picked up. But the burst that Zeus offers, phenomenal. It's going to save his team a lot. And the burst damage into a duel is, I mean, will turn a fight very quickly.
Yeah, so Superior Ratcha, he's gone for the Vanguard, but I think his next item is going to have to be a Pipe of Insight if he just wants to try and mitigate a bit of the magical damage coming from G-Squad. Like you said, this Legion's just going to burst down quite quickly. She's not able to win a duel. That's taking the Ancient Creeps here, but he has going to be quite a bit of action. Nimbus getting dropped, and actually does pop the Blade Mail Shackles coming out as well with the Frostbite, and quite an easy pick off there. And they can't afford to lose Legion in the jungle like that.
Yep, she is the pos 1 carry. Zeus being that greedy Zeus player that we all know, that we all get in the pubs, just wanted to get his ultimate off to make sure he got that last hit, because it was more valuable to him than anyone else.
Oh, and Ward's getting dropped in the tower as in range gets dropped, and Superior Rat gets Omni Slash as well, but there are creeps there with the shackles that got broken, and he's going to try to get away. Everyone gets silenced though. Oh, nice giant figure coming out that does take down Captain though with a freezing field. Oh man, and it's a 3 falling down here on the side of basic just for 2 supports, ain't that bad. Lifestealer jumping into Jack, oh he's gonna fall down, so OG Kush getting a double kill there. And the Ward's not really putting too much damage onto this tower, unfortunately.
Absolutely, the wards weren't exactly focused onto a single target. They were kind of split between all of the heroes and the tower, and I mean, a lot of them died, but they're still here. They're offering a little bit. They've done a little bit of damage. And that's already a tier 3 at 29, nearly 30 minutes into the game.
Alright, and Osaki getting open wounds as he does pop his Blade Maul. Nimbus getting dropped in a double kill here for Elector. And Legion falling so quickly. He has no sustain. He's got a stout shield, that's all. He's got the Blade Mail, which you can wait out. And 1600 health, which is not keeping him alive at all.
Absolutely not. Ren swapping herself into the Nimbus, she dies. Lifestealer getting low, will he die in return? Yes, he will.
Alright, so this Nimbus doing a lot of work, really putting out a lot of magic damage. But the range racks does fall then, so that lane is going to start pushing in nice and slowly for the side of G Squad. Double siege creeps here in the mid lane. This is an interesting fight.
Absolutely, and more importantly, you can now start to target the shrines, which secures you certainly a Roche, which you'd be looking to go towards with the Juggernaut and a Shadow Shaman. You can do that very, very easily, so you want to knock off the shrines, make sure the lanes are then pushed in, and then you can go and Roche, which would be the first Roche of this game. Now the team has really looked to it before now.
Yeah, it's half an hour into the game. We haven't had a single Roche, but these shrines are available now. And in fact, Jack here is in the dire jungle, and he might just look. He's going to take the farm and maybe potentially a shrine here.
I also agree with this. Even if he takes these jungle creeps, it's smart because it constricts the map of your opponents. If they have no space to farm, they can't win.
Superior Rat, he doesn't know he's surrounded. There are still two more little ways away here for the side of G Squad. He is looking to go onto Wolf. Doing a bit of damage. Nimbus getting dropped here into the Blade Fury. OG Kush is coming in. So is Aisley TPing in for support. I think G Squad are going to have to back out. Rod is catching him. It's hitting hard. There is a swap. They're not going to use it. They're no range. He almost falls though. OG Kush getting a kill. He does fall. So does the CM. And Warja getting dropped defensively into the shackles. That Legion Commander with the jewel. But the ulti does come out. He does win it actually. Oh, it drops the drops Lord G. And so actually a 1-for-4 trade. Huge hit for the side of basic. Even with fighting around the wards of Shaman. Didn't help.
The Zeus used his refreshers there. So he's exposed that he's got a refresher orb at this stage.
Oh, is Ozaki going to go down? No, he's going to make it. Does have his Shadow Blade finally completed, going straight into the Desolator next, which is going to be good just for him to win those jewels. Which he finally did. Won his first jewel and he's got the level 2 plus 18 damage.
Absolutely, and that's a small drop into the ocean at this stage, but with enough drops like that, you're able to claw back your victory, put it up to about even on your probability, and from there, anything is possible.
Well, I think with a couple dual pickoffs on the smaller guys like CM and Shaman, he could win a lot more if they look to do that. But if we check out the live stealer, so he has picked up the Radiance. He does have a Skull Basher. Yes, he's having quite a good time actually. He's farming like a beast, you know, he's making his Juggernaut look a little bit inferior almost. Goes straight here onto Zaka with the open wounds, and Nimbus getting dropped as well automatically. Shaman here into shackles, does get hexed out. They can take down Azaki, they will, and Pizzaguy should fall next. Oh man. An ultimate committed there from Lord G, and they get the double kill. Elector having a... He's almost got this Abyssal Blade. In fact, he does. He just has to call the courier. Shit, he's farming. Shackles in the mid lane. Falls straight onto Aisley into a Blade Fury. They're looking to take down this line. They should be able to easily, with the freezing field as well, just to finish him off for good measure. Oh, there's a pipe. No, there's not. There's a hood onto Superior. No pipe just yet. Nimbus getting dropped onto him, does get forced off the way, they're going to run, does get the shackles into the Omnisludge as well, they're going to catch him, does get swapped out, but still there's a long shackles catching him, he is going to leave, but wards have been dropped onto the tier 3 tower, and they're looking to fight. Lifestealer is hidden inside Lord G, Glyph getting used, up, pops out Electro looking for some action, does get open wounds onto OG Kush, but there's another tier 3 tower.
Absolutely, and this is at least a range track going down here, if not the melees.
Oh, there we go. Hex with shackles onto the Legion, into the Nimbus as well with the Blade of Fury. They do get silenced though, but it's already going. You should be able to get some kills. Huge finger coming out, doesn't land on anyone. And they should be able to kill Jack. They are going to take him down. OG Kush gets a kill, but Lord G looking to get some more Superior Rats, going to be able to get away with just a bit there. In fact, they killed the Zeus as well. They're looking to try and enter Elector now. He's got the Rage. It's down though, and they're going to have to run. They are silenced. Mana Drain with a beautiful swap coming up from Pizzaguy. Does take down the Venge with one easy right click. And they're looking to get some more. He's going to go down. Does get the jewel. Wins it with the Earth Spike. So he's got himself now 36 extra damage. So those little drops in the ocean are going to start adding up for him.
Absolutely. They're going to be a little bit upset that they lost their range racks and the T3. So at best, I think that ends up actually being them, they really would have preferred to have been able to save their racks and get all of those pickups, because these ranged racks that have been taken will slowly push the lanes in without a hero in them now, and it just opens up the lanes a little bit more for Radiant to go and do other stuff.
Shaman just made a very angry Bristleback, and he's running for his life right now as he gets snotted and hits down. In comes Wolf, does have the Frostbite, is going to save him into Shackles. What are they looking for? Is there a freeze and fill? There is, he could have used it. Right, here comes Jack to provide the right click, does pop the Blade Fury. They're looking to take down Superior Rat. Another Shackles coming out. OG Kush is on the way with the Zaki, and they're going to be able to save him. I think a bit of a freezing field with that Shackles could have maybe worked there quickly.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
To some degree, you can't actually physically attack this Bristleback anymore. He's very difficult. Plus, he's actually got himself a Halberd as well. So he's considering that he wants to mitigate as much physical damage coming into him as possible.
Yeah, I mean, so he's got Heaven's Halberd for this, for the Lifestealer and for this Juggernaut, which is great. So they're not going to be able to attack. They're going to get disarmed. And actually with some decent time, and if he disarms them, you know, before the duel, then they can't fight. And maybe this helps Legion pick up a little bit more duel damage.
Absolutely. And pivotally, if he actually gets off the Halberd before Juggernaut uses his Omni Slash will do 0 damage.
Is that the case? It does nothing?
Absolutely, because it's based on your attack. And Halberd is a disarm, basically. So you actually lose any chance of getting anything out of your Omni Slash. So if he was able to perfectly time it, that could work really, really well for them. That's
gonna be a nightmare. But G Squad looking to take the Uncle Roshan very quickly, is going down slowly. But there's no vision here from basic gaming, so they do have no idea that it's happening. Sentry Ward as well, showing up nothing for the side of G Squad. And I think this Lifestealer is going to be the one that's going to take Aegis or the Immortal.
Absolutely. It was more or less the same play that we discussed slightly earlier. They knock off specifically the top shrine, they push the lanes in, and then they're happy, then they go straight into the Rosh Pit. And they realize that they needed to continue their pushes, and a Lifestealer with that Aegis is pretty scary because he can just stand there and tank most of everything.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't even take that much damage as well, and he's regenerating so quickly right now. I mean, plus 10 HP regen with an Abyssal Blade.
Absolutely, and now they can consider what they want to do. They're walking up here to this bottom shrine, then this they can take out because they don't want anyone TPing in behind them. Smart decision, and I mean, you know that your opponents are going to be sitting in base, so why go and meet them when they're going to be prepared? You can wait, you can farm out the creeps.
What
them, basically.
What type of high ground defense does basic gaming have?
I think at best they've probably got the spam arrows and bristleback, but that's about it actually.
Omni Slash getting committed with a huge ulti coming up from the Zeus. The second one with his Refresher Orb is able to catch 2 Superior Rats, so double kill here for Wolf and Lord G as the Superior Rat goes down. 3 fall in fact 4 fall in. They force OG Kush to use his buyback. No creeps here for the racks, but they forced the buyback and did take 4 down in that team fight, so things looking very good for G Squad there. And they actually should be able to take this racks quite comfortably and just force this mid lane.
Absolutely, they can also then immediately go to bottom lane. And even though the Silencer is brought back, he can't do anything with just Avenge. So they realize that they have to wait for their team to respawn. In that time, they lose 2 racks and probably even Megas if not to finish.
Alright.
What they had to do.
Alright, so that's 2 sets of Raxes that have gone down here the side of basic gaming, and these lanes are now naturally just going to push in. G Squad looking to take the Mega Creeps as they rotate top. There is 20 seconds down in the Bristleback with 30 on the Lion as well, so actually quite easy just to take this last tier 3 tower. Nimbus as well causing just a nice bit of harassment, same with the Arc Lightning jumping around. So much magic damage on the side you have G Squad, and there's no pipe being built on basic gaming.
Absolutely, and they haven't even committed the Shaman Wards yet. They've saved them for tier 4s when they really want to use them.
It's under attack.
Right, Pizza Guy using the swap does save himself. Blade Fury coming at you onto Superior Red. He's got a Blade Mail as well, looking to save himself, and just a Silencer comes out. Lifesteal might just fall, does have the Aegis though. Azaki looking to use the duel, does get swapped, but he wins it at the end of the day, and open wounds coming at you onto Pizza Guy is going to kill him. He's looking at his attention onto Azaki, gets a double kill as well. So, but he does fall, the Legion, the Juggernaut, but Lifesteal is here just to clean up though. And meanwhile, those wards did get committed onto the tier 4 tower. And while he's distracting everyone, they push him to win this game. And there we go. GG called. G-Squad taking this best of 1 with a huge 25k net worth lead at the end there, Mac. Damn, it's big.
Absolutely. As we had been discussing throughout the game, it's the small little things that you do right or wrong in the game. It wasn't a bad draft by either team. It could have gone either way. But it was just those small little plays here and there where they got the extra pick off, they got the extra push in, a wave faster, a wave further. So execution that sometimes can be a little bit lacking, and it's no fault of the players. Sometimes you feel that little bit more pressure, especially playing in tournaments.
And I mean, if we just kind of check out our net worth graphs very quickly here, we can just follow this live stealer from the 10-minute mark. He was just having such a good game. Even all the way up to the 20-minute mark, him and his Juggernaut just kind of jumping around. Zeus as well, just having a sterling time then. In fact, even up until the 30-minute mark, G-Squad had, the top net worth players in the team. Yes, and it really kind of transitioned into them winning this at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Once that snowball started to roll, it's extremely difficult to stop. You would have needed a lot more wave clear that Dire didn't have available to them. It's very difficult. You've got the spam of the Legion arrows and the wave of terror and maybe Bristleback, but that's all they really had for wave clear. So they were going to always struggle to stop that snowball.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we are going to take a short break very quickly before we jump into our next lobby. So don't go anywhere. Grab yourself a cup of coffee, water, or tea, and we'll be right back in a few minutes.
searching for the lost and found. But you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air, like a blazing flare. Just stare, cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I used to kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. My darling dear, you're never here. When I'm in pain, you hide and disappear. Like shadows in the atmosphere, charting the stratosphere. Yeah. I prayed for you and kept you near, in hopes you'd chase away my fears. I'm on my own, you made it so, and now I'm chasing nightmares too. I used to run with you through the great big leaves, laugh at you when you laugh at me. Hope for us because I believe the home was just you and me. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. feel like I linger between the words to say the words to remember. Now we're here to take control over your body and over your soul. We're gonna take back everything and lose it all, lose it all, lose it all. Feel it in your arms, feel it in your legs, feel it on your fingertips and feel it in your head. Just let your body go, just let your body go, just let your body go and move to the rhythm.
Welcome back, everyone. This is game 2 of the evening as Darkside take on Basic Gaming. Basic Gaming just haven't played the previous upper bracket game that did lose to G Squad, and now are playing in a so-called losers bracket against Darkside. But Mac, that last game was big. It was good.
It definitely was, and I'm sure that they've sat in this little bit of time that they've had off, and have considered what they did right, what they did wrong, and are certainly going to be building onto that.
I think they definitely will be building onto it. And I think, yeah, just a little bit of locker room talk, kind of what can we do, how can we improve. And they don't know Darkside as well, and Darkside don't know them unless they watch the game. So this is a fresh start for them, fresh game, fresh draft. And let's see what Pizza Guy can do for us. So Morph and the Chaos Knight getting banned out again. So second time already this evening.
Absolutely. Are we going to see the first phase Joe ban once more, take out all of the meta heroes? Though I wouldn't call CK a particularly meta hero. Maybe it's just something that they really dislike playing against Darkside.
He's not super meta right now, but he is still strong. I mean, like kind of like a big beefy Chaos Knight is hard to get down. Plus he's got illusions. He's got a reliable stun on him. You know, he can come online quickly. You know, even these are kind of smaller amateur tournaments, and you can almost look at it as like 3K pubs downwards. Chaos Knight is then meta to those type of people. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Absolutely, and to be fair, he does get quite incredibly tanky if he has armlet and a heart, which makes him extremely difficult to kill.
5 seconds
so
remaining.
That's pretty much what you look to do when you are going into your banning phase, especially your first banning phase. You remove things that you really don't like to play against. That's basically what you're breaking it down, whether it be the meta heroes, remove supports that you don't want them to have, or stuff that you really just hate playing against.
Yeah, especially if you don't have like a lot of information on your opposing team. Ban what you don't like, pick your comfortable picks. You know, if you got the Invoker Spammer on your team, you know, get out the Invoker Spammer. PA getting banned out once again, so Silencer with the Lion. We did see them in the previous game, Enigma as well for a bit of crowd control. Some decent mixed banjo coming up from both sides, I do like it. And a first ban Viper. I mean, sorry, a first pick Viper.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not convinced on that. Simply, it's not a bad hero, and it's generalized for a lot of things, but you sort of reveal what you're really going to be playing mid. Unless you somehow throw this into a carry position or an offlaner, but that's also going to be a very niche play. Remaining. So you've sort of exposed yourself already to saying, this is what we're going to have in this lane. And that's something that you never really want to do.
No, exactly. Like you said, that's the mid player already. Now, Warlock getting banned in the last game. He is getting picked up here. First pick Warlock, which I think is a lot more comfortable to do as a team. You know, you're not really showing your hand as much as this mid Viper.
Definitely, and he's actually a fantastic support. I mean, he is a little bit passive. All he has is his heal, which, I mean, he can drop on an opponent, which is more of a tick damage. And the link between all of them and his slow, but it's not really a lane-based set. It's more based towards teamfight, especially when he gets to level 6. He drops his huge column, and then you can start running at lanes once again. So he works as a sort of pusher and a team fighter.
Now, talking about kind of that tick damage, what do you prefer more? Do you like a Warlock, or do you like Maledict?
Maledict every single time.
Yeah.
Because it's just, the more damage you do on Maledict, the more it does overall. So I think it's by far a useful skill, and they both Warlock and Witch Doctor have an ability where they have to stand completely and utterly still, but it's completely different. Witch Doctor is standing still and doing damage. Warlock is standing still and only doing a slow.
Yeah, so Mirana coming out this game. Pizza Guy didn't draft it for his team in the last game. I like Mirana because she can be quite a flex pick. So maybe she's the offlaner, maybe she's their mid lane hero. Got a stun in her. It's not a reliable stun, but it's a long stun. And she can get quite DPS inclined if she wants to be.
Absolutely, and she can also, depending on what she's playing, if she's a core, she can also pick up Ags, which gives her a lot more magic damage, with the automatic Starfall.
10 seconds
But
remaining.
in my personal opinion, I think this is going to be
Dire
your
team
pos
back.
4 Marana and a pos 5 Warlock. A pos 4 Marana can instantly rotate to a lane and throw out an arrow and start doing a lot more saving heroes, ganking from odd angles, and she doesn't have to be standing on top of heroes to do anything useful.
No, it's quite a long arrow as well, so you are able to kind of throw it from the trees, throw it from behind the mid laner. So kind of standard
10
drafting
seconds
coming at you from
remaining.
basic gaming, both supports potentially being revealed. And Darkside going for the Ogre, which is a great pos 5 to 3 potentially. Well, I have seen him in the off lane. Nice reliable stun as well. It does land immediately. A bit of harass coming out from that cocktail as well. And now his ultimate getting reworked and just doubling his items. What do you make of
10
that, Mac?
seconds remaining.
I mean, we were discussing earlier about the scaling
5
onto support at
seconds
the
remaining.
moment and whether it was valid or not. And I mean, he can be really, really annoying. And he can get some really good luck if he has a really good early game and he picks up something like a Hand of Midas. He could potentially Hand of Midas 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 creeps at a time.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen stupid things like, oh, now Ogre can build a Dagon, and then he zaps you twice. Or like you say in Midas, now he ends up getting, 4 creeps. And then I suppose a Grimstroke with
10
an Ogre with
seconds
this new
remaining.
ulti as was quite stupid then.
Absolutely. I mean,
5 seconds
Grimstroke
remaining.
overall is a fantastic hero and it's still available. No team has banned it. And it's just that link. And that link can be a pivotal part to fight around. Because if you link a support and a core together, they both have very different roles that they're going to play in a team fight. Your support wants to be completely and utterly as far back in the fight as possible, and your cores want to be at the front. So you've got one person running one way, one person running another, and you basically end up cancelling each other out and standing still.
Yeah. And I like him on a position 4 as well, just throwing that stroke of fate. Nice harassment, can silence cores if need be. Does have the ink swell as well, which is great for kind of those big beefy tanks that like to run in,
10
and would be able to
seconds
proc
remaining.
that ink swell. So what do we have here? Storm
5
getting banned
seconds
out with a
remaining.
Void, and we've got Lich getting banned out with the Bloodseeker. And I suppose Superior Rat maybe not gonna get the Bristleback this time because they don't want him to fight into the Viper.
Radiant
Absolutely.
team pick
I
Dire
mean, the Bristleback did work in the last game to a certain extent, but I mean, wow, those were some instant picks that we just saw come out. Sand King and then a Drow Ranger. Which one shall we deal with? I think Sand King is an off-laner, in my opinion.
I mean, we have seen him. He has been getting run off lane quite a bit. I
10
think
seconds
Mind Control
remaining.
and Zai have done it. I think Sand King probably is moving away
5
from that
seconds
traditional
remaining.
support position he was. Played a lot at 4. But, off lane's changing a bit. You want them to be able to stun, initiate, cause trouble. He's got his stun into a sandstorm. His ultimate is great. I don't know how beefy he gets when we look at position 3s though. I mean, Sand King isn't someone who gets awfully tanky, is it?
I mean, he can build into it, so it's not a hard ability to stand there and take damage, but he can pick up stuff like aura items like we were
Dire
discussing in the
team
previous
back.
game, like a pipe for his team.
for the
He can pick up an
teams.
Ags if he really wants it, which also offers him that extended stun. But the most important thing for him actually is the way that his sandstorm now works. Several patches ago, you had to sandstorm and you stood still in your sandstorm. You couldn't move within it. Now you can actually move around in it if you really want, and even though people might try and throw abilities into the lane, you can just dodge them while still remaining in the sandstorm itself.
Yeah, that's true. And now the Drow Ranger getting picked up by Darkside, so it wasn't banned and it has been taken up. Plus a Nature's Prophet for that push and potential. Does Troll lose against the Drow here? I mean, is her ultimate now something he's going to have to be wary of?
I think it's definitely going to be something to be wary of, especially if he is silenced first. I mean, if he's not silenced, he still can use his ultimate and he doesn't die whilst it's still active. So I mean, he's still going to be hitting creeps and stuff, or hitting heroes depending on how it's played. ultimately it's going to come down on who jumps on
10
who at this
seconds
stage of the
remaining.
game. With the dark side are showing all of their heroes do
seconds
really well
remaining.
at early game push. You're going to have the Ogre who boosts the Drow, you're going to have Nature's Prophet who's going to have his treants running down the lane, Viper can spit on waves and clear them out at an extremely fast pace, so they look like they're playing for a 20-minute Rax already.
Yeah, I mean that new nether toxin on the Vipers have been quite ridiculous. You know, where people are looking to even build a rod of Atos with him just to keep you inside that nether toxin. But you are right, because Drow likes to snowball, and you know, so by the 20-minute mark, 25-minute mark, I'm sure Darkside are looking to push maybe even tier 2 towers. You've got Rat Dota coming at you from the Natures with his Treants, looking to split push. Like you said, Bloodlust onto Drow is going to be ridiculous. But the catch on basic gaming, I like. Golems can stun. There's an arrow coming out from Mirana, plus a Burrow Strike coming out from the Sand King. You suspect someone like Troll Warlord probably builds himself an Abyssal Blade as well.
I think specifically for the Troll, he can actually be a little bit more greedy because he hasn't got any other greedy cores with him. So he can consider going, what we generally see in the pro scene from the overseas teams is a Battle Fury, or something along that lines, or a Yash and a Blaz, and he can go and Rochefoot by himself,
Dire team pick.
happy to do anything in the team.
Choose your Medusa.
Oh my word. So on the one side we've got like this early game push, on the other side we've got this late game farm. I mean, the Medusa, you know, can take up to, you know, 35 minutes just to come online.
Absolutely. I mean, I was just saying that the Troll can farm for himself, and then they pick a really, really greedy Medusa. So now you've got two heavy late game carries that want to farm. We had this in the last game where we were saying you don't want to have a 50-50 split of the farm, you would rather give it to one person and let them snowball and just win. But in the last game, it was more about how the teams played itself.
So I mean, so of course someone like a Troll and a Medusa are both quite greedy. Is there going to be quite a bit of contestant for farm on the side? If you have basic, do you think they're going to be able to manage it evenly between them, or?
I think ultimately it's going to come down how hard the Radiant team decide to actually push this. Because if you starve them and especially cut off one side of the jungle, I would specifically focus on side. I mean, that's where Medusa wants to go, and if you cut off
Prepare
that side of the
for
map,
battle.
it starves them. Then they're both farming in the same side of the jungle, and then you really have a problem about having two greedy cores.
And stacks as well. I mean, on this side, who's playing what here? Basic Gaming actually need to get up some decent stacks for this Medusa as well, because the split farming capabilities are huge.
Absolutely. I mean, and what we haven't discussed yet is I am fairly certain that this is a +5 natures, which is actually become more common, where you don't really get any items. You can use your TP when you want to, and TP in and drop really deep wards without anyone ever seeing you there, and then you just TP back to base. And your treants are going to do
30
the same
seconds
damage
to
no
battle.
matter what items you actually have. The only thing that really scales them is your talents themselves, where at level 15 you have +4 treants, and at level 25 you can have ×2 treant HP and damage.
Yeah, so it does look like he's gonna choose pos 4 this game, which still works out just fine for him. Lets him be a little bit more greedy, and I think he's gonna get a decent amount of farm up.
The
Do have
battle
Ogre here in the
begins.
safe lane. Arrow is gonna miss the Drow. Trash painter, so there, Pizzagat picking up the gold. And that looks like, is that a 3-for-1?
Simply is Drow realizing that arrow coming in along with the Sand King is going to be very dangerous for her. Sand King did scale into his Sandstorm first, so she didn't actually have to worry about his stun. But Ogre was well far back into the lane. He was standing in his T1. He wasn't actually competing with the...
Alright.
He just thought that the Drow was going to get it, and that would be it.
Alright, so we do have the Viper in the mid lane, White Mamba taking on the Medusa OG Kush. And as we said, there's going to be a lot of contestant for farm here on basic gaming. And Medusa hopefully is able to get some stacked camps up from her supports. Top lane here, Brew Master. I do love an offlane Brew actually.
He's actually fantastic, especially with his third skill with the Drunken Brawler. He has a dodge chance, he has a critical hit chance. So when something mans up on him and he has his Drunken Brawler then scaled later, probably at level 2 even, I mean, he just turns around, uses it and hits them. Then you feel rather regretful about actually going onto the Brewmaster himself, so he doesn't really worry about his lane.
Yeah, and I mean now, you know, he's able to cause Ozaki to miss as well, throwing his Cinderbrew on him. Actually, does that still cause a miss at all?
I believe it has a miss chance, but it's not fantastically huge. In fact, Cinderbrew is now ignites damage from second.
Yeah, it's not even the same, I think, at all.
No, I think the only miss chance that you're going to have is from the Drunken Brawler, and that's when you're physically hitting the Brew himself.
Yeah. Well, which troll will be doing a lot of, I'm sure.
Absolutely. I mean, Troll naturally is just going to be hitting increasingly fast, especially when he's got his further up and several stacks onto whichever hero he decides to hit, which will probably be the Brew at some stage in this game.
Yeah, and Fatal Bond's just getting to work there as well. Back to the bottom lane. So Superior Rat opting to change his Bristleback here for a Marana. So in fact, this is potentially a position 3 Marana with a 4 Sand King. There we go. It's double stun coming out there. Does land into Trash Panda. Getting the Sandstorm out.
It was a bit unfortunate that Marana era caught a creep instead of actually catching the Drow Ranger herself. But he also needs to consider what some people don't really notice or are only subconsciously aware of with Marana is the further back you are when you throw the arrow, the more it goes towards its maximum stun range. Stun duration, sorry.
Yeah. So exactly. So the further you are away, the longer the stun will be.
Absolutely.
But just what I'm loving about Dota these days is like the potential for flex picks, and the fact that this Sand King could be a 3 and this Marana could be a 4. But now the Sand King's a 4 and the Marana's a 3, and that is just awesome because it allows you to kind of draft comfortably, you know, without letting your opponents really know how you're going to go or what you're going to do.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a very few heroes that are always going to be stuck as a single position. I mean, Spectre would be a really good example. When you see a Spectre, you almost always assume that that's going to be the carry. But other than that, you can play very adaptive gaming. So something like you could play a support Kunkka, you could play a carry Kunkka, you could play a mid Kunkka as a good example.
Hell, Doom is supporting.
Of course, I mean, his Infernal Blade on a Doom is also, it's a really good harass. He walks up, he hits you once, you lose a little bit of life, he steps back, you wait for it, he hits you again. It's a pretty easy way to play.
I mean, Abaddon is supporting now, Undyne kind of even supports in the lane.
Yeah, I mean, there's no real way to say that there's only one way to play this game anymore.
No.
So,
No, not at all. It's not fixed like that at all. Like you said, only Spectre kind of, you know, gets thrown into that pool where it's set in stone. Otherwise, hell, you can run this game however you choose to.
absolutely. I mean, other than that, you can't even really think of all that many heroes that fall into a single category. Even things that used to be set as stone as carries, something like a Faceless Void. You can play an offlane Faceless Void and bulk Vlads for your team if you really wanted to.
Oh, definitely, man. The amount of position 3 voids I've seen is crazy. It's awesome as well. It's different things I think you wish to achieve. So he's got himself now a Chrono, and the Chronosphere also gets a much big AoE later.
I'll take your tribute.
And so you got this initiating 3 that can just kind of close people
The
in.
seeds of fortune.
And then your position 2 and 1 still can be these big DPS guys, and now your 3 just, you know, has this Chrono ability.
Absolutely. And things like that, it's all about the team synergy itself. So when, especially in pubs, for any of our viewers watching at home, is you don't just pick randomly. What you end up doing is actually, when you're playing, you look at what your team has picked already and what the opponents have, and then you pick for what is missing. So, for example, where we were using this Faceless Void, if you see that you've already got massive DPS, Positively Void is perfectly fine because you're not going to be the damage dealer, you've already got plenty. But if you realize that, oh well, we don't actually have any damage, then you would consider maybe something really damage heavy, like a Legion perhaps.
Yeah. I mean, Wraith King as well. You know, offlane potential with Wraith King now, the fact that he can make skeletons to push is massive for him.
Absolutely. I mean, going back to this game, there's a lot of flexibility here. I mean, if you consider how many different roles can be possibly played.
First blood on the
enormous.
sand strikes the perfect note.
And finally, took 6 minutes for us to get a first blood in the bottom lane. Trash Panda's gonna fall to the Burrow Strike and an arrow coming at you from the side of basic gaming. And so that is the perfect target they do want to hit, which is the Tri Ranger.
Absolutely, and the Starstorm from Moran, which is also a fantastic skill if you can position it perfectly right, where you originally cast your Starstorm and the nearest person or unit will also receive the second Starfall. The ability to use if you get really close onto a hero.
And so top lane here, we've got I Am Curry now, and he's got himself a level 2 in the tree end, Nature's Call, and he's actually ready to do a lot of push in this game.
Surprised that we have not seen the Viper calling Nature's Prophet to go and, like, as soon as he sees the courier from the Medusa running down the mid lane, he says, hey Nature's, can't you TP in and start killing couriers or anything? Because that's really where Nature's is going to thrive more as a support. But he seems to be building more towards actually more of a core item build. He's already got himself 2 Null Talismans, a Blightstone and a pair of boots. So is this a pause for Brewmaster then?
I mean, yes, it looks like it. I mean, I guess the CS is going to the Natures. It's 26 for 15 with only 12 on the Brew. And talking about the Brew, is taking a bit of a beating here. Range coming out from Ozaki. Is it going to catch him? Does have the solve in him? Does get taken down. He's sitting on not much health. Bright Strike coming out and should take one more hit. Ozaki finishing off there. Yeah, I think potentially support Brew. He's going in straight into a Soul Ring, and like you said, the Nature's Prophet is actually taking all the last hits. Got a Blightstone already. Getting his boots up quickly. Position 4 Brew. It's not something I've really seen. And I don't... Like, I get it. He can blink in. He's got a stun. Yeah, right. It's not like overly convincing for me.
I mean, that's what you've just said there. Is dependent on even being able to farm a Blink Dagger. I mean,
yeah.
At this stage, you might build the Vlads or something
Dire's
at a later
top
stage,
is under
but
attack.
I would much prefer to have a plus 5 Natures or a plus 4 Natures than a plus 4 Brew.
I think just kind of the catch for like a pos 4 Natures is it's more instant, like it happens. Like you can TP around the map and you can throw trees around your enemy and then it's happened. Versus like if you have to still run in to do a thunderclap and you don't get it off, well then it's wasted. So it's like Axe running in and calling. And like you said, yeah, so if he doesn't kind of get enough farm to really build up a decent blink time this game, then again it's like Axe, you can't blink in and call that well. And so I do back the Nature's pos 4, but I don't think Darkside are actually going for it this game. So we shall see.
Absolutely. And then one lane that we haven't actually been looking at was once again a very passive mid lane. I mean, it's going very nicely for the Viper, who's the top of the CS charts, just overtaken by the Drow. But he's 40 with 17 denies at nearly 10 minutes into a game. He is shutting down this Medusa.
He does 17 denies to her 8. Yeah, he's really making sure that she doesn't get a lot of farm up at all. And I think that's what we spoke about. She's a late game hero. She requires a lot of farm. There's a double D in the river, which is going to be trouble. And so she's getting starved. And Mirana falling in the bottom lane, and maybe in the top lane it might be a second year as Ainsley. Up here come the Nature's TPs in, looking at trapping. Is going to catch the Warlock. Should be one more hit there. And Brute taking it down. Ultimate coming here onto Ozaki. He might just fall as well. Thunderclap is up, is going to miss though, but he is ticking down quite a bit with that poison arrow coming out. Is going to land on the tree and perfect. Does trap him again. And that's 2 falling down here for the side of basic gaming. And a decent rotation coming out here from Mamba. But the double D with the stone gaze is coming out from OG Kush, and it's not going to catch White Mamba though. They are looking to take him down. There is no Mystic Snake for 6 seconds. Double D not working that well. Oh, that does a lot. Arrow misses.
I mean, he's still got 10 stick charges, so he's going to live for a little while longer, even if they decide to go on him. And he is naturally tanky as soon as he's got even 1 into his corrosive skin, which he does do.
Oh, alright. And so he lives to fight another day.
Absolutely.
And 2 supports just rotating through the mid. Right, so this Brood does have a free lane to catch up a bit of farm.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Anything that can be
attack.
happening.
Dire's bottom
Meanwhile,
tower
T1
has
goes
fallen.
down bottom.
Yeah, Nature's pushing with those treants. Isn't going to catch him, and Ozaki using the spin. He's trying to catch Trash Panda with the Bowstruck as well. Epicenter getting used. Is going to be used to take down Drago. And that's a nice kill in the bottom lane.
Definitely, and the Sand King is already on to his killing streak. So he's been committed into 100% of the fights, because he's 301 at this stage. So he's making absolutely good use of this Sand King.
I mean, I suppose we are going to see Pizza Guy playing a much better Sand King than his Vengeful Spirit, possibly. The Warlock going down in the top lane. Oh, Nether Toxin with a clap coming out from the Brood. That's big.
Yep, and now this is what I said about a really early push. Now you've got more treants
Dire's
spawned in the
top
top
tower
lane. They
is
walked
under
in.
attack.
This is another T1 that falls before the 15-minute mark even comes around.
Dire's top tower has
And
fallen.
At this stage, they've got full health treants that are going to last for a very long time. They're looking at T2s already.
And the thing is, so like, we know this is a best of 1. Do you really make it Medusa into a best of 1 game when there's such a heavy pushing team on the other side? I mean, a Snowball and Jar with a Nature's Prophet. A last pick Dusa? Yeah, scratch your head.
I do agree with that. I mean, at this stage, even when you feel like you're winning with control, the fact that a Nature's Prophet can slowly chip damage a tower and TP into a lane and delay creeps and cut waves, it still feels like you're losing, even though you may end up winning in the future.
Yeah, I mean, this game would have...
Midas even
My
won two
gratitude
matches.
is yours.
Ah, yeah, he's ready for action. He's had a good game. He's had a lot of decent farm in the top lane, even though he's level 6. And yeah, hand coming in by a courier soon.
I mean, as soon as he starts to see that there's multiple people standing here in the mid lane, he's instantly going to start TPing off to the side lanes and pick up solo farm and push waves once again. And there he goes, he's already off down into the bottom.
Oh, decent poke here coming out onto a Zyke, and they're looking to find a Bowstruck coming out as well, catching 3. They're getting netted as well with the epicenter, jumps in with the Golem, get dropped as well, does stun them down, and Jar's already fallen, and so does the Ogre, trading it for 2 there. Arrow coming in, does hit a creep down, they're looking to take down OG Kush, but White Mamba's going to fall in. Double kill goes to Andy with a triple kill going to White Mamba in the Nether Toxin. And Marana getting caught, does have a leap. Yes, she can get away. Is not going to fight. Has to get away though. Arrow is going to miss. And that's a 3-for-3 trade with both cores on both sides falling there. No stone. Was Stone Gaze committed? Yeah.
I believe it was. Yes, it was. I mean, the Viper stood there, but at the same time, Medusa was standing absolutely in a third level Nether Toxin, so it was ticking
Dire's
onto her quite
structures
heavily.
are fortified. Dire's middle
There is a
tower is
lot
under
of
attack.
pressure coming at you from Darkside, and they are not letting up at all.
I mean, I think they've absolutely realized how well their draft has actually gone, because they were instantly looking to play for an early game, and then they realized that they're playing against really weak early games like a Medusa and a Troll, so they're going to keep hammering this in, realizing that if this goes late, they might be in a lot of trouble.
The seeds of fortune.
Well, so that's also the thing, is that they know that one way that you can beat a Medusa team is, you know, snowballing and finishing early, so you don't take your foot off the pedal, and I think they opt to look to maybe potentially get some tier 2 towers here before the 24-minute mark.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at this, and certainly you're setting a timer in your mind as a team. You say anything past 45 minutes, you're really going to be pushing your luck against the Troll Medusa. So that's your absolute timing. And that's where you really want to set yourself for two real timings. An absolute timing where you think you can no longer win, and sort of a soft timing where you look at goals that you want to get before that timing comes around.
Yes, I have not seen Medusa in the jungle as of yet. She hasn't climbed into the triangle at all, and in fact Superior Rat's in the triangle as he uses his ulti. So he's not really given OG Kush any farm. Not in that jungle anyway.
Absolutely. I mean, dropping a ward here on the top side with both a sentry and an observer, fantastic idea. And it's just, if you look outside of the sentry range of the die, it's literally on the edge. I mean, you couldn't have cut that any finer.
No, that's perfect, Warden.
Whether that was intentional or done by accident, you still claim it.
Oh, massive play stops. Out come the Silence, and cold arrows are really melting down this Warlock as they're going straight into Zaki as well. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Yep. Right, Nether Toxin, Silence, arrows, whole team gangbang there. Oh, it was too easy.
Absolutely. I mean, that was a perfect example where I said if the troll uses his ulti, he survives, but I mean, at that stage, he's got nowhere left to run if his team isn't around him.
No. And Battle Trance only lasts so long. You could see they kind of held out for a while, wasn't dying, but it was inevitable.
Absolutely, and here we go, Nature's coming out again. Trees, moves the lane forward, and that Blightstone that he's actually carrying is
Dire's
phenomenal
top
at
tower
helping
is
to
under
push.
attack. Dire's structures
The
are
target's armor
fortified.
by 2, and a tier 2 tower has 15 armor. To reduce it even by 2 is a fantastic ability to have.
Yeah, oh, poking away. He had Pizza guy. He has to form into the Sandstorm. Does get the Burrow Strike. Pop in the epicenter as well, but does get stunned. He's going to fall on the Golem as well. Coming down, Nether Toxin catching them. Stone Gas coming out is going to catch 2. They get to run away though, and they do have this Golem chasing down there with the slow there. Super Rat having to get out very low. They're turning their attention onto Drago. But out comes the ultimate, a double kill here for Trash Pan as they've got Medusa, but she's going to fight. Ogre does fall, so it's a 2-for-1 right now, and he's turning straight here onto the Toxin, helping him out there with the passive.
Dire's bottom tower
And a
is under
3-for-2
attack.
trade there. Trash Panda falling, but I think catching the Medusa and the Troll is well worth it.
Absolutely. I mean, Dro is going to be a little bit salty that he was both linked from the Warlock to the Viper who was taking damage and the Shadow Word that was ticking on him. He doesn't have a Magic Wand, which I believe Magic Stick or Magic Wand is pretty vital item to always carry just in case. Those couple of stick charges that you get here, there, are always worth it. But, I mean, you still trade. You get the Troll and the Medusa, who you're slowing down their farming, you're still hitting towers. And
Yeah,
almost
just
to the T perfect.
yeah, just that fatal bonds into rock amplifies that damage so much. He gets himself 150 cast range right now, just so he can stand at the back of the fight and, you know, just be not get blown up so quickly and able to get that rock off.
I mean, that's a perfect decision for the Warlock. He knows that he's not going to be standing in the fight itself, because if he's standing in the fight, then he'll never be able to use his upheaval, because he knows that he's going to be standing still anyway. So might as well get the upheaval and then stand as far back as possible and just cast it and hope
Double
or goes on you.
Double D in the river,
Dire's bottom
and this
tower is
Brewmaster's
under attack.
really just deciding what the hell he wants to do with it. Whoops, is waiting for Trash Panda to come pick it up.
My damage
Okay, so draw with the double D is going to get Bloodless up, and they go straight into the Marauder as well with the clap. It should be easy to fall. She's going to be able to leap away. It does go down there anyway. He uses his Primal Split. They turn their attention here into OG Cushion. He's going to fall very quickly. Stunned with the arrows. This helps. They turn their attention straight into Zaka. They're looking to get him TP coming out here from the Sanking. Isn't make it in though. Fatal Bonds does committed though. Silence coming out, and easy double kill there for Trash Pan. He's still got the double attention turned straight onto Ainsley. And that Warlock's going to fall very quickly as the last thunderclap there coming out from the Brew. Massive team wipe. No one falling on the side here, and it turns straight into bounties as well.
I'll take that.
Absolutely.
Dire's
And a
bottom
push
tower is
onto
under
a
attack.
T3s.
Oh my
Here
goodness.
comes Nature's Viper come knocking.
And a push in the top lane. Forcing the buyback.
Having to that really stings. To have to commit a buyback this early into the fight. I mean, you know that you really have to stop them no matter the cost, but boy, that stings no matter what.
Dyer's
You
middle
really
tower
don't want to be
is
giving
under
up
attack.
your buybacks this early into it.
I think, back to kind of like our long conversation just now, a best of 1 versus a best of 3, your drafting mentality can be very different. So you know that if you lose this game, like that's it, you lose, and if you win, you win. And I think Darkside have drafted for the occasion.
Absolutely. I think the mentality is definitely different, as you said. You have to look to playing your best draft. You don't get the chance to size up your opponents and see
Dyer's
what they
top
do or
tower
what they don't.
is under attack.
And, I mean, you bring your best team, what you're
Dyer's
most
top
comfortable
tower
with,
has fallen.
and a team that you think will be most effective.
Ulti never toxin onto the Warlock, but he does drop the rock. He is going to fall, and they're going straight onto the Sand King. Does drop 2 very, very quickly there.
Absolutely, and that's pretty much a dieback on your Warlock, because he's brought back and he's already just died. He's out for a full 60 seconds, and more importantly, he both
Dyer's
used his
middle
chaotic
tower is
offering,
under
which
attack.
is a 2.5-minute cooldown, and it gives 150 gold,
Dyer's
which
middle
died.
tower has
Yeah,
fallen.
it's got such a long cooldown, and he did use it, then got melted very quickly. White Mamba dropping that ultimate on him. It's very, very sad to see. Massive clap coming out onto Saki here with the Cinder Brew as well. Is it going to get the arrow? It's not going to work with the creep speed there, but they do get the stun off him. He's going to get trapped by the Nexus Prophet. Primal Split getting committed as well. He's going to fall down. Stone Gaze does going to catch 2 here. 4 with the Burrow Strike coming in with the Sandstorm as well. They're trying to get a couple HP down those. Mystic Snake coming in as well. Arrow is going to miss as well. I think they're going to back out if I was them.
I think you're looking at this and realizing you can still keep pushing because the Natures is going to just push in this bottom lane. That's his entire job, and he's doing it fairly well. And the damage that you start to get, it adds up over a long period of time. We know that towers can't regen like a melee Rex, so you just really have to do chip.
Dyer's
There's no
bottom
reason to
tower
try and
is under attack.
force your advantage any more than what you think is possible.
No, I think Darkside do not have to force a single thing now. They've lost 1 single tier 1 tower. They can literally turn around now, take Roche farm, gather their thoughts again, turn around, chip, a bit more, as you said, and they do not need to overextend their advantage. They're in the pound seat right now.
Absolutely, and I mean, they're also doing a fantastic job. We've got several sentries on an ogre, so he realizes that the Morona is going to be a problem. With Brewmaster, he's happy he's got his blink, a set of dust in his backpack, and he's also brought himself out his own sentry.
Talking about that blink, very, very quick initiation onto the Warlock and he falls. Trash Pan is in a bit of trouble. Is there Burrow Strike? It has been used already. They aren't going to catch him. And Morana gets caught, however, able to leap up, and she uses the ultimate just to get out, though. There is a battle chance on Ozaki with the epicenter as well, trying to catch him. So White Mom is going to be in a bit of trouble. Does have to use the Guardian Grips as they go into the Morana. She's going to fall, though. Stone Gaze stopping them, but a massive 3-man team wipe there. White Mamba is going to survive. Had to use those GG boots, but it was well worth it. Oh, actually, it doesn't have them yet, just the mechanism.
Dyer's structures are fortified.
But still, that mana that comes out from the Viper is fantastic. You've got a
Dyer's middle
Brewmaster who can
tower
stand on the
is
front
under
line.
attack.
He still has not used his split, so he can use that anytime he feels like. And you can pretty much take the tower right here and then back off. Go and hit the shines, as we said in the last game, and set yourself up to look straight towards the Rage Pit as soon as you realize.
Massive multicast there from Ogre. My goodness. Up, jumps in. Golem gets dropped as well. Primal Split has to be committed though. They're looking to take down this Golem. It should fall quite easy. But White Mamba in a bit of trouble. So is Drago. He gets the kill there off on the Sand King. They're looking for another one. Double kill there for the Brew. But Viper does go down. The massive arrows coming out here from Trash Pan. He's going to have to back off as this Earth Spirit might just fall. That's Brew down. And Darkside, I think, are looking to. They're going to have to turn around.
Absolutely. But in that meantime, you've got the Natures. Look at him, he's slowly done the T3 and he's started to chip on the range tracks. This is the irritating part. No matter what you do, you feel really depressed playing against the Natures because you know, as soon as you lose sight of him, as soon as he has a little bit more space to himself, he can start to do this really irritating rat Dota,
The seeds
push
of
all the way
fate
that he wants to,
selfish.
and just force you to constantly deal with that.
Yeah, and he's got the Shadow Blade as well. So he's even, you know, able to escape out of fights if he needs to be. Or at least, you know, rats in the treants and then disappear.
Absolutely, and I mean, with the ability to both have his teleportation ability plus TP scrolls, he can pretty much use his teleportation really deep into a wave, sprout some trees, and then use the TP scroll right back into his own base. He doesn't even have to hang around if he so decides.
There's no Nature's Prophet that builds into Boots of Travel, is there?
I think I've seen it maybe once or twice in pubs, but at level 25, if you really wanted to, you can remove the teleportation cooldown. I personally don't like that because, I mean, if you look at the level 20 skills, he's also got 25% cooldown reduction there, which are really
Dire are
reducing
scanning.
a really small cooldown, and double HP on trees if you're going for a tree build. I mean, double HP and damage
Dire's
on a
top
tree is
shrine is under attack.
completely and utterly worth it.
There we go. He's going to have to commit the Marana ulti into the smoke as well. They're looking to catch someone. Is there going to be a blink coming out here from JingerBoogie? There we go. So talking about the shrines, they're just going to take that down quickly so they can comfortably go high ground again.
Dire's top shrine has fallen.
Ah,
And this is what I meant about starving a single side of the map. You've lost an entire jungle side. So now if you wanted to farm on both a Medusa and a Troll, you have to split the 3 camps in the bottom lane, or go into the Radiant jungle, which is always dangerous to cross into the opponent's side without completely knowing that they're not going to be coming there.
and I mean Medusa just isn't going to get any of that farm now. And they're starving her and they know they can.
Absolutely, yeah. And they know that they've got no T3s to deal with here, so they can see the creep wave in, go like a bloodlust gamer and start tunnel focusing on things.
Oh, Gus coming out. There is a burst strike to rebuttal though from the Sand King if he needs it. Arrow is going to land. Tusk go straight onto Draga. But Nether Toxin causing a bit of harassment. Superior Rat trying to get the Starfall down. Oh, Nastan coming in with the Thunderclap. He's going to catch 2 though, but there is a Rod of Aetius as 2 supports are going to fall immediately. Golem getting dropped as well. And Ozaki in a bit of trouble. He's going to fall immediately with that Nether Toxin. White Mamba looking for more. He turns his attention onto Superior Rat. And Ainsley going down true. Got the Primal Split coming at you. Stone Gaze shouldn't catch anyone. Might just get White Mamba, so Mystic Snake coming out as well. Does get 2. Might just be able to kill this Viper. She's looking to take him, but no. Trash Panda on the rebuttal. Immediately taking down OG Cruising. Getting a triple kill. My goodness. With JingerBoogie doing a lot of harassment in the background. Perfect kind of splitting up of the team. And Medusa,
And
she got blocked off.
even more importantly, that whole fight went on, and the GG is called because they also realized that the Nature's Prophet took the entirety of the bottom lane by himself. He doesn't even have to be involved in the fight.
Alright, and Superior Rat trying to get in a bit of trouble there, but everything getting committed here from the Brew. And, well, Trash Panda knows objectives are going to win games. He's going straight for the tier 4 towers. There's no ultimate here on Ainsley. Can I use Fatal Bonds? They are going to catch out. Hits a guy. Thunderclap. But hell, Trash Panda's too strong. And a couple right clicks. There goes down Azaki. Hits a guy coming out here. Double kill for Trash Panda. Is going to commit to the epicenter, but can't use it because of the gust. Triple killing godlike for Trash Panda. He's making very short work of this game. Ultra kill. Well, he could go for a rampage. Is it going to be a dive back on Ainsley? Oh, maybe just. He's going to give it to him. Oh boy, lots of Ignite coming out there, and should be a rampage. There's going to be rampage for Panda. GG. I am very convinced. It's GG.
Absolutely. This is what we were saying about taking 2 greedy cores into a team that was really building towards having a really good push. They had an Nature's Prophet, and you have a Drow, and you have Bloodlust out of the Ogre. It was just a fantastically put together draft that was executed perfectly as well.
Exactly half an hour game with a 33 net with lead to the side of Darkside. You just can't write that stuff.
Absolutely. I mean, this will be a learning experience. The dark side have done fantastically well for them, so they know that this kind of playstyle works for them. So that's something that they can carry forward. Unfortunately, Basic didn't work this out. They struggled with realizing that they now have two very greedy cores. But I mean, this is what these tournaments have been designed for. You play, you learn, you come back better and stronger the next time that we see you.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's still amateur Dota, and it's nice that they have this platform to play amateur Dota, you know, and test out the waters. We also, I think, just want to take this quick opportunity to thank MSI, who are providing all the prizes for us this tournament. They've got our first and second place prizes this tourney, and I'm very, very excited to see what's going to happen during the rest of this week.
Absolutely. I mean, we hope that everyone who's tuned in tonight will be tuning in for the games coming up towards the finals later along. But I mean, I hope you've enjoyed all of the Dota that you've seen.
Yeah, it's been very good. Well, guys, that's gonna be us. So from myself, Muzz, thank you so much for joining us. A fantastic Dota coming out here from all the teams that played tonight. Hard luck to Basic Gaming, but they can definitely look to see how they can improve from these games and just, you know, what they've learned. All right, guys, so that's going to be us over and out. Thank you so much. Cheers.